And hey, we're back, and we're doing something different today. This is the fantasy football impact show, and we're just talking strictly fantasy football. So, without further ado, we don't even need to introduce these two. This is our resident analyst, Too Nasty. His face is, I guess, back to normal. I guess that that woman whooped his ass, so his face went down from that.
Man, it was young, man. I'll
And
say ass.
our resident Bucks fan, I don't know if he's still a Bucks fan. We got him in the Heat shirt. we got a Heat shirt ready for him for this gentleman suite that's gonna happen today. Brandon,
we're gonna do it for Giannis. We're gonna do it for Giannis today.
You lucky we're not talking basketball today. We doing this fantasy football. So did anyone of y'all have a draft yet for fantasy football?
I had two.
Yeah, I had two.
Okay, how you think you done?
Oh man, I done amazing outside of the one thing I didn't get that I wanted. Shout out to my number one hater, Lil Chris. But yeah, my team is amazing, bro. I got everything I was looking for.
I did.
Go ahead.
I was about to say I got screwed in two of mine.
Well, I did all right. I got what I needed to get in mind. I got me strong running backs. I was really, that's what you need in fantasy for me. Gains and losses about the running backs you have now. Because the receivers are flaky. I'm just saying, receivers are flaky because they can go one game, they can get you 25, 26 points. The next game, they give you one, in some cases, 0 points. So, you got to have a great running game like in football, man. You should know, Tennessee Titan fan. You probably picked Derrick Henry first in all your drafts.
Well, no, only got him in the league we was in, because everybody rated him so high because of last season that he was a first-round pick this year. I usually don't take a running back in the first round, but he was there and I wasn't passing him up, so I had to take it.
Okay, so like I said, the best thing. Go ahead, Brandon. I couldn't hear you. Was going in and out.
I said I ended up with Henry in both of my leagues at pick 6.
Well, you all right then? You good to go?
I had to go. I had to pick 6 in one of my leagues, and I had to get Alvin Kamara because I couldn't pass him up because he's gonna be pissed off this year. We're playing for a contract. So, speaking of running backs, we gonna start with the running backs. But like I said, those are the ones that'll kill any team. Like you have Derrick Henry, who all they do is run the ball in Tennessee. You stupid if you pick a wide receiver in Tennessee besides AJ Brown, but they're gonna run the ball 25 to 30 times, and he might get 200 yards. So, running backs, they touch the ball. Every time they touch the ball, they can potentially give you big points. So that's what we're going to start off with. So I need to hear y'all gentlemen's best running backs to take in the first, I say, 2 or 3 rounds.
I'll let you start it off, Brandon.
I think it's pretty much a given. Christian McCaffrey and Barkley are your safest top 2 picks. At least, are we talking PPR or are we talking standard?
Most people do PPRs. You could do both.
Yeah, I usually only do PPR. So I say those are your safest top 2 running backs right there. And then from there, I mean, you got Kamara, you got Henry, who Yeah, he doesn't catch a lot of passes, but just due to the workload that he's gonna get, he's definitely a top running back to take. Um, there's Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs. Um, I'd say those are probably my top guys in the first 2 rounds.
Go ahead, Nasty.
All right, so we can go all day on running backs you take in the first 2 rounds. So I'm gonna just give you my top five running backs must have. Number one, you got to go C Mac. The dude is the entire offense in Carolina, so you have to go Chris McCaffrey. Number one. Number two, like I say, the workload, Derrick Henry. We gonna feed him. We only gonna go as far as he carry us. So we gotta ride that wave. You never go against a running back that's guaranteed minimum 20 touches a game. My
30.
third one. Nah. We got to save it for the playoffs this year. So and we got a nice little rookie behind him. So it's gonna be 20 to 25 starting out. My number three, Nick Chubb. All the dude do is put up numbers. Everybody quietly sleeps on him because Cleveland loses. But fantasy wise, Nick Chubb is always a must have back. At number four, I gotta go with the guy that a lot of people sleep on as well, and that's Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, before he got hurt, was quietly having one of the best fantasy seasons out of all the running backs last year. He's catching it, he's running it. There's no real receiver threat in Las Vegas, so the workload is definitely there for him, and there's also no competition for him. So John Gruden plays him until he needs a breather. So he's always there. And at number five, I know I'm gonna shock the world with this one because I usually don't pick rookie running backs anywhere. But the fifth running back must have this year is Jonathan Taylor. If you watched him in Wisconsin, I know my guy Brandon is gonna know, but he was a fucking stud. And now you take him and put him behind the best offensive line in the game. Man, that shit is scary, man. Marlon Mack will not keep this guy down at all. Look for Jonathan Taylor to have a big season this year, and that's my must-have running backs for the year.
Me, I'm with y'all. Christian McCaffrey is number one. He's a do-it-all. They don't have it. They only have really no really good receivers out there. So he's the receiver and a running back. So he like plays both for you. And then number two, you got to go with Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb gets 70 something yards a carry. It seems like he always have a big game, even when the Browns suck. And then, of course, number three, Saquon Barkley gonna have a bounce back year if he doesn't get hurt. He's a human video game, and it's just PPR leagues. Yeah, I would give it to him because they have nothing else in New York. And like Derrick Henry is number four because with these running backs you can go any order with these because these is the must-haves. So Derrick Henry is number four because he's all Tennessee has. Like it's Tennessee, they got number 68 at quarterback. That's all I gotta say. Tyron Tannehill. So enough said. And number five, like I said, Alvin Kamara is gonna bounce back. Bounce my words, because you know how running backs on contract is. Contract is they trying to get paid. So he gonna go all out this year. And with the added receivers that the Saints picked up, the running game should open. So it's not just Michael Thomas you got to worry about in the passing game anymore. You got to worry about Emmanuel Sanders too. So that might open him up, and also he's a passing threat. So that's why I put him over some other people because the Saints going to throw Kamara the ball 10 times a game, and he's going to probably run it for another 15 times. So that's 25 touches. So like I said, you can put Zeke. You can put all kind of people in this run.
Oh man, I forgot Zeke. How did I forget?
Yeah, it's so many good running backs that you can get. I ain't even say Aaron Jones.
He's so consistently good. Zeke is like even last year, everybody thought he had a down year, and he still had 1,400 yards. Like,
yeah,
he's ridiculous.
Well, the only reason I left Zeke out of my top five was he was open and a little too comfortable with saying he was willing to split the workload this year if that meant the team wins. On one hand, as a player, I understand that, but fantasy wise, I don't want to hear that from no running back on my team. Can't do it.
Plus,
Yeah,
there's
but
only one ball in there.
at the same time, Aaron Jones said the same thing last year. Him and Jamal Williams are best friends, and I mean, he was number 2 running back in all the fantasy last year. So
Well, that was because y'all finally did what y'all needed to do to win, and that's actually take the ball out of Rodgers' hands
Yes.
because y'all been relying on him too much, and it showed. But especially with the lack of receiver depth y'all had, y'all needed to run the ball more. So y'all finally started trusting your running game, and y'all started winning more games. So I can understand that one.
yeah,
But with Zeke, I left him on my top 5 because there's only one ball in Dallas. They got too many playmakers on the team. I think the added a CD Lamb and you have Gallup and Cooper on the outside. They're gonna be tempted to throw the ball because
so
Dak trying to get. So I'm thinking they're gonna go away from their identity and that's gonna take away from some of his touches. Some, not a
but
lot.
my counterpoint to that is y'all both had Nick Chubb in your top 5, but they got
Shit, he getting
Odell,
7
they
to
got
carry.
Jarvis Landry. They brought in they have Jarvis Landry, they brought in Austin Hooper, and they still got Kareem Hunt, who they just restructured his contract this morning too.
But
And
Zeke
and
ain't running that ball like Chubb.
and here's the thing about that, which made me say I keep Chubb in the top 5, despite having all that last season. Nick Chubb still put up amazing numbers.
Yeah.
Even with the Odell distraction, even with Jarvis
He
Landry,
did,
even he
he
still put up
did,
great
but
numbers.
Zeke was right there too.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And I'm
True,
not.
but
And
I'm not.
Hunt only played half of last year. Just
I don't
imagine what
think.
happens this year.
And that signing, I think is gonna make Nick Chubb play even harder because now you're giving this guy money, like I'm not the guy. Now I got to show you I'm the guy. And I already like Nick Chubb game on top of that. So now he got
yeah,
motivation to go with it. I'm riding with Chubb.
yeah, Chubb
But
is running that
since,
thing, man. He running
but
the rock.
since we're talking fantasy, I guess we'll stay on this subject with Kareem Hunt. He has a lot of standalone value in itself because Nick Chubb don't catch the ball. So Hunt's gonna be out there. He's gonna split out in the slot sometimes. He's gonna be on the outside. He's gonna catch screen passes, and he's gonna get his 7 to 15 carries a game. So I think he's an absolute steal if you can get him in the 4th, 5th round, somewhere in
Yeah.
there.
And then this you good segue, Brandon, because I was going next to the sleepers with the running backs. So who's y'all sleeper? Like someone who's not on the radar that y'all will take like it get get values in the late round.
You want to
Oh,
go?
I,
You want me?
I guess I can start it off, man.
One of y'all, I'm just saying,
Despite Adrian Peterson being signed to Detroit, DeAndre Swift is still a great pickup if you can get him in the later rounds. Kerryon Johnson is still there, but his health has proven to be his liability. DeAndre Swift has all the talent and he can catch the ball. Matt Stafford gonna love him. If you get him still late rounds, you gonna love him too.
go ahead,
I
Brandon.
got a cut. I got a couple of them. So I was already talking about Kareem Hunt in that late
Yeah.
4th, 5th round. I really like Raheem Mostert. I seen him what he could do just against us, running for 1,000 yards on us in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, them lanes was open
but
like a
I mean,
freeway.
but
but
they traded away Matt Breida. He bulked up a little bit so he can take more carries this year. And on top of that, they added Trent Williams to that offensive line. I think he's going for 1,000 yards rushing this year.
yeah, he should have been he's usually a third round pick in the drafts I've seen, which is basically that's a steal in itself because you're getting the number one back, a great upside that late in the draft. So I like that pick.
That's crazy because the 2 drafts I did, I got him in the 5th round, I want to say. And I was ecstatic to get him in my flex spot. So,
Oh yeah.
Ain't that
and
easy?
then
Yeah,
my third guy is J.K. Dobbins. I think he's going to take Mark
that's
Ingram's spot,
intriguing.
just like Alvin Kamara did. I think he's gonna play that exact same role. I
So,
think by midseason he'll be the
That's
man.
intriguing.
I'm glad you brought that up because I've been having that question for a lot of guys. So yes, I understand J.K. Dobbins' talent, but that Baltimore backfield was already crowded last season, and
It's
then on
like
top of
three
that,
people.
Lamar Jackson is getting more carries than damn near anybody back there. So do you really think he's going to get the workload to be a viable fantasy option? Is the real
Well,
question.
the offensive coordinator already said it's a priority to have Lamar run less. Obviously, when you're in the middle of a game and you see that lane, like Lamar's gonna take off if he can.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, last year they broke the record for most rushing in a season. So I just think Dobbins, they already said he's going to be a huge part of that offense. And just all I can see is, okay, Mark Ingram's there. I just see that same situation that happened to him in New Orleans where he's like, cool, I'm going to go ahead and get my 800 yards. He can get his 800 plus, and he's going to be the receiving back too. So I, th- I don't know. I
He's
see
a good
the
pickup.
sky's the limit for him. Yeah.
Good handcuff. He's a good handcuff too.
Yep.
So it's not bad. It's not, there's a lot of rookies out there that people. There's so many good backs. They got great rookie backs that ran in here this year too. Also, so yeah, I agree with you on that. And but one of mine is Carryon Johnson is my sleeper because if you can stay healthy, you gotta look. I got Carryon Johnson in like the 15th round in one of my
That,
drafts.
there's a reason for that.
Running back. That's the starter. Like that's the starter for the day one starter is Carryon
But
Johnson.
but you have
I'm
to
telling
look
you,
at
he's
the
a starter.
moves that Detroit made and what that says about
Ain't
his
nobody
role
worrying
as a
about
starter.
Adrian Peterson, bro. Like if with healthy, look when healthy, this dude gets you points when healthy.
But
It's
it's
a
not
lot of
just
times
Adrian
sliding.
Peterson.
We saying sleepers. We're not saying
Hey, I
if you can
mean,
get him somebody in that Detroit backfield gonna run the ball, and more people are taking Swift over Johnson. So
there's a reason for
he's
that.
sliding towards in round. They're taking Swift over Johnson. And that was before the Peterson trade or deal or whatever. Peterson don't have
Mhm.
nothing left in that tank. He might be LeGarrette Blunt. He just gonna run it from the goal line and dive it in. That's all. He might be a
I,
touchdown.
I can't
Yeah,
let you do my dog
but
AP
if
like that, man.
if you're
He ain't
taking
got no more in the tank,
away
dog.
if AP's taking all the touchdowns, then and Swift is catching all the passes, that really doesn't leave much for carry on, anyways.
Yeah, that
Man, look, Swift
I
ain't
mean,
touching
but
that
I'm saying,
field.
I'm I'll say if you're taking them in the last round, like yeah, that's a
Yeah,
steal.
that's
But
a steal. Because look, Adrian Peterson gonna get hurt or something like that, or they gonna sit him down for some time because he might get like he might get that Kawhi treatment, that low management treatment. so he might be out a couple games. And like I said, I had Carryon Johnson last year. He get you points when he's there. So
when he
this
there,
like
when
look,
he there,
sleepers are like look, if my starters are down and I
I
need
got you.
somebody to get points. He could have a big game. And like I said, I had J.K. Dobbins on my radar too, because it's intriguing because you don't know who gonna come out of that backfield. Because Lamar Jackson is basically a running back, and then you got Mark Ingram, and then you got J.K. Dobbins. There's a reason why they got J.K. Dobbins. And what did y'all feel about Cam Akers with the Rams? Do you think he's gonna?
Honestly, I like Henderson better than I like Akers in the round backfield. But I don't trust none of the running backs because I don't trust their offense. So I'm not touching none of them dudes this year.
None of the Rams.
None of them.
What about
the
Kenyon
only
Drake? I'm sorry.
no.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, I was just gonna say for the Rams, the only players I'm trusting are their receiving options, and that's just because they go off somehow, some
You
way.
know,
I don't.
I'm just trying to pick people who lost their starters in the last, like the
Yeah, yeah.
Cardinals. They just signed Hopkins. So you think that's gonna make Kenyon Drake stock go up or down?
He was just in a boot the other day.
Oh shit, he down.
But
Same when
they
if he
said
come back with healthy.
they said he came off the boot yesterday, but his average draft pick or his average ranking in the drafts are like top 10, and I'm sorry, I don't have any faith in him. He can't
Who
he
took
can't
him
get the
top
start.
10?
No,
Hey, bro.
that's
Nah,
what
the
the
pre-draft
projected
rankings.
rankings are.
Yeah.
I'll take
But
David Johnson with Houston, Texas over him right now.
They the same player though. Now one
I'm
of them
just
stay
saying, if
healthy.
you gonna look at it, he in the boot.
the thing is though with Kenyon Drake is like he's never been the man anywhere. Like the coaches never had faith in him anywhere. Like Alabama, he was never the man. Like Miami, he wasn't the man. So what makes anybody think he's gonna be the man this year?
Well, who was his backup?
I'm
And
about to say, well, it depends on who with him.
Chase Edmonds?
Okay, but not a real threat like that.
No.
so he
But
got a chance to be the man.
who was his backup in Miami? Kalen Balaj? Like
But
that's not
Balaj
either.
was a still. First of all, fuck Miami for that because Balaj was a
Yeah,
good player, and
they
we
ruined
just
Ballard.
didn't have room for him in Tennessee, and they stole him off our practice squad. So fuck Miami. But
Yeah, Kalen Ballard was a beast. Like I don't know what
yeah,
happened. They just stopped feeding him the ball. The Ballard
exactly,
Barrage, that they was calling it. He was killing it, and
dude. He
then they
was
just
doing
stopped
that.
giving him the ball.
He did that all training camp, and we said we're gonna put him on our practice squad. And Miami bitch ass took him off our practice squad.
I'm
I
feeling hurt.
mean, I'm upset about it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely upset about it.
You need a little violin for you.
Nah, I'm all right. Save it for later. Save it for later.
And speaking of Miami, what do you think about soft ankles Matt Breida, as you call him?
I like Breida. I took him in both my drafts, I believe, as a bench running back with high upside. Obviously, he can pop off for 100, 150 yards randomly. And then there's other games where he'll just have his 50, 60 yards. But I don't have any faith in Jordan Howard because he's like the Ryan Fitzpatrick of the running backs in the league right now. Like, he can't keep a job nowhere.
Out.
That man ran
Damn.
for 14. He ran for 1,400 yards with Chicago, and the next year they were like, "Yeah, we're trading you."
Damn.
And Chicago haven't won since. But once again, fuck Matt Breida. I will never trust Matt Breida ever again in fantasy football with them weak ass Steph Curry ankles. Bitch, man, fuck him. Fuck Matt Breida, man. You take him, you gonna get your hopes up. He gonna go off a few games in a row, and then guess what? Ankle injury.
No
Man, fuck Matt
Breida
Breida.
train. No Breida train.
Man,
That's
I've been up.
that's why I loaded up on running back. So in my one league, I have like Derrick Henry, Mostert, Dobbins, and Hunt, and I'm very happy with all that depth. And I took Fournette, which is why I said I got screwed in both my drafts because I took him the day before they cut him.
Well, you in Tampa. So what y'all think about Fournette? He in Tampa. They don't have any threats in Tampa to him.
I mean,
He's
they got
gonna be his
McCoy.
own.
They got McCoy there.
Man, he was a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl.
McCoy ain't
healthy
shady.
scratch in the Super Bowl.
He's Sonny McCoy. He ain't shady McCoy anymore. Ain't no more shade there. That's done.
Look,
he ain't shady nobody.
If he couldn't even be, if he was a healthy scratch in the Super Bowl under Andy Reid, like Andy Reid is his boy, and Andy Reid was like, "Nah, fuck you. Like we're not starting you, or we're not playing you, or you ain't even suiting up." That should tell you how much he's declined.
Oh, we know he
got no play. That boy got the Carson Wentz Super Bowl. He got the Carson Wentz Super Bowl. I'm in sweats to get that ring.
He got his ring though, man.
But
he was in sweats. He was in sweats. No yards in the Super Bowl.
And then they went on to have Damian Williams, who should have been the Super Bowl MVP.
He had a hell of a game. But they wanted Mahomes to have it. It's always quarterback.
So I got before we move on, the Buffalo Bill running back situation because David Singletary was a sleeper last year. Like Devin, I mean to say Devin Singletary was a sleeper last year. So, but they got Zach Moss threatening to take his spot. So, what y'all feel about that?
I'm staying away from that backfield. I don't know what they're doing.
And that's my exact position. Whenever I stay away, and there's whoever present themselves to be the man is still available on the waiver wire, I go get him then. But like that's just like the Jets situation. I'm not touching Le'Veon Bell or Franco. When one of y'all
Man,
decide y'all want to be the man,
Frank Gore is like a fossil, bro.
and that fossil still solid and
And
still give you
he's
decent
fuel.
games.
Yeah. So, and if Le'Veon Bell can't beat out that old fossil, man, then he need to be cut his damn self.
Hey, I
Well,
damn
let's
sure
go
ain't
on
drafting
to
him.
receivers this show. Yeah, like you said, more people want to go pick receivers. There's a lot of them, shitload of them. I know one of my leagues. I know I got Brandon's favorite receiver, Deontay Adams. Deontay Adams, I got him in the first round. So, who's the receivers worthy of the first round, second round? Over running backs, premium running backs. Who was your top 5 receivers, fantasy wise? We're not talking about like overall, but fantasy wise, who's your top 5 receivers?
Well, I think the obvious safe choice is Mike Thomas because he's catching 700 passes a year. And then after him, Devontae Adams, just because the targets he's gonna get. He's gonna get
There's nobody.
same amount. He's gonna get targets up there, right up there with Mike Thomas.
Because who is
So
the other receiver?
Alan Lazard.
Shit.
They got a
Yeah.
lizard on the other side. Man, stop it.
And then number 3, I would say you got to go with Julio. I don't remember the last time he didn't have 1,400 yards. I know he don't score touchdowns, but he's guaranteed to
Man
get
is a
you.
very good end zone.
Yeah, he's guaranteed to get you 90 catches and 1,400 yards every year.
And 2
And I
touchdowns.
would say, hey, if it's PPR, you need them 90 catches.
Yeah.
But I would say those are probably the only 3 worthy of a first round pick. But after that, I mean, Hopkins too. Hopkins possibly he's gonna be the man in Arizona now. So those are gonna be your top 4 in fantasy. And then Tyreek Hill just based off of the fact he has Mahomes launching it to him.
All right, Nasty, your turn.
Hey, bro, this is gonna be a rare occasion, but we got the exact same list, and I'm especially high on Tyreek Hill this year. Not just because he has Mahomes throwing it to him, but I actually been watching him because he actually been doing a little YouTube thing, vlogging all his off season training, and it actually looked like he's going to improve. His game is not going to be just deep routes. So I'm actually looking forward to see what Tyreek Hill can produce this year.
And it's another rare occasion. We all got the same list. Even though I said Julio is allergic to the end zone, you got to take him. If he come up and you like 6 or 7 in a draft, you got to take him if all the good running backs are gone. You got to take Julio, one of these top 5 receivers, because they're gonna catch. They just catch stuff in PPR. They just catch like 10 passes, 15 passes a game, and that's 15 points, like right there on top of their yards. So you got to get those receivers. So we all in agreement that like that's the top 5 receivers. And what you think about Adam Thielen? He came out of nowhere a couple, years, like years ago, came out of nowhere. So y'all think about Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins, who say he's gonna die for it, in COVID.
Hey,
I
bro.
think
Oh,
you
you
can
go
go
ahead.
ahead. All right, I'll go. I think with Thielen, I mean, if he can stay healthy, because he's been dealing with injuries the past few years, if he can stay healthy, I think he's a very good receiver. He's definitely a wide receiver too that you can rely on every game. And now with Diggs out of there, I know they brought in Justin Jefferson, who I think is an absolute stud. I think he's gonna have a big year. But I still see Thielen getting 130 targets this year. So um, I think he's a good, solid value pick as well if you need a solid wide receiver too.
Nasty.
Hey man, I agree. Thielen is a solid pick, but for me, that's not the Minnesota receiver I'm targeting this year because I think Justin Jefferson is going to have a monster year with Kirk Cousins. As we've seen with Kirk Cousins, he's not afraid to throw the deep ball. Justin Jefferson is definitely a stud at receiver. Don't get me wrong, Adam Thielen still will get about 100 catches. He still will get over 1,000 yards. But I think Jefferson is going to have a monster year teamed up with Kirk Cousins throwing him the rock this year.
Yeah, because one of my drafts, I got Allen Thielen in the 4th round. I was happy when I saw I needed a receiver. I'm like, is it the 4th round? Like, this dude is a Pro Bowl receiver. Like, people are, I guess they're down on Thielen this year. A lot of drafts. I'm like, he's still going to produce. He's still going to give you, wide receiver 2 value. You don't let something like that slip. Like,
Mhm.
like I see him. I understand people on the Jefferson train, and as they should be, but Thielen still, I think he's still the #1 receiver over there because until Justin, prove himself. Now, once Justin start going
I
out
just
there and ball, it might change.
But here's the thing about
I
that
just
though.
have one question for Nasty real quick.
Yo, what's going on?
Is Jefferson gonna be the one that's like the main reason the Vikings beat the Saints in the playoffs this year?
Uh,
Hey, you know what's crazy about that? The reason the Saints lose is gonna be the same reason they lose every year. That ragged ass, dead arm ass quarterback. It ain't never gonna be nothing the other team do. It's always that fucking quarterback.
Same reason that Mostart gonna be the reason why the Packers lose in the playoffs this year. The same reason.
And I already gave most of his props, so
Number 68 gonna be the reason why the Titans lose in the playoffs this year.
Hey, bro. First of all, we learned our lesson from last year. 68 would not have the ball in hand when the game matters. Not having it.
So
22.
who is y'all sleepers wide receivers this year? Because everybody know the main guys. So who's the guys under the radar y'all looking at like this ease on through into the late rounds of the draft this year?
Okay, well, I start with a couple that I got. So everybody was high on Stephon Diggs going to Buffalo, which was a solid move. I look for him to have a solid year, but everybody was ignoring the guy that was there and had a big year last year. I got John Brown in the 11th round this year. John
Damn.
Brown still is a top receiver. He still will put up big numbers even with Diggs, and the fact that Diggs is there is going to help take the coverage off of him. So it's just going to be that much sweeter for John Brown this year. And the other guy that I got late round. Uh, and this is health dependent, but Robbie Anderson, who is now in Carolina. Anybody know Chris McCaffrey did not have no receivers at all last year. Now he got a true deep play threat. Now he got Teddy throwing the ball. I like Robbie Anderson in that offense. That's my sleepers for this year.
I'd say for mine, I like McCole Harbin, his second year in KC. Obviously, Tyreek Hill and Kelsey are going to get all the attention, but he's just another burner. So I fully expect him to have 700 to 1,000 yards this year in that offense, just because they're such a high volume passing team. And then my other sleeper is Preston Williams from Miami. I know Devontae Parker, usually injury prone every year except for last year.
He
And
was hurt last year too. It was just in the beginning of the year.
yeah, but if you compare their numbers on a fantasy points per game until Preston Williams tore his ACL last year, they had damn near the same numbers. So he's definitely a late round sleeper for me. I got him in my starting lineup off of waivers right now. So
So,
Definitely happy with.
so let me ask you this, because I'm a big Miko Hardman guy. I drafted him in every league last year, but he could not get on the field enough for me to feel like he would be a viable fantasy option. He couldn't get Robinson on the field, Sammy Watkins. He was always the fourth. They had to go 4 and 5 receivers, or somebody needed a break. So, do you think he's improved enough to get more snaps on the field to be a factor? Because the speed is definitely there.
I think he's taking Sammy's spot. Just Sammy can't stay healthy. They're gonna, like he was talking about earlier, that Kawhi treatment, that load management. They're gonna have to limit his snaps so he can actually be a threat when they get to the Super Bowl again. Because I don't see nobody beating them.
Oh, you
But
you you just look at the blue. We got something for him this year.
I mean, we'll see. Anything can happen, but until that Mahomes contract kicks in, I don't see nobody winning the Super Bowl but them.
Yeah, and
But
I had Christian Kirk as mine. Like he is going to be a sleeper because now they got a man on the other side of him. He's not a number one receiver like they tried to make him. He's a solid number two, and they got the man, probably the best receiver in the NFL, on the other side of him, and they're gonna get double covered. DeAndre
Best
Hopkins
hands in the game.
is gonna get double covered, and he is gonna have single coverage with a good quarterback with a good arm. You can give him the ball, and Christian Kirk is going to surprise a lot of people. And I got him in later rounds, like the 10th round. Like I'm
Oh
getting
yeah,
him around that time, and people's overlooking Christian Kirk. But you want that number two receiver when you got a big play receiver on the other side of him because that receiver is going to see a lot of single coverage. And
yeah, he'll be able to
I'm
dominate
telling
the
you,
slot
Christian Kirk
catch.
is going to have a big year.
yeah. His numbers should look like Juju rookie year playing on the other side of Antonio Brown.
And because he's a good receiver, he's not a
Oh
bad
yeah,
receiver. It's just that he's not a number one. Not everybody made to be a number one. I think,
that's true.
and then we got Fitzgerald in the slot. People gonna be worrying about Fitzgerald, even though he old and can't move. They gonna still worry about
Hey,
Larry
bro,
Fitzgerald.
that
Larry
old man
Fitzgerald.
still get open.
I'm just saying, it's Larry Fitzgerald, so you gotta respect Larry Fitzgerald. So
Yeah,
who's third in that pecking order is Christian Kirk. So you're gonna have to look at it. He'll be a big sleeper that a lot of people didn't slept on in this draft because there's a
And they
lot of
still
rookies.
refuse to bring a tight end.
Yeah, he need to be a tight end.
No, they refuse to bring one in.
If you to bring a tight end
nah,
Yeah,
they
like
they, they still want to run that wide open offense. Get Kyler
in,
Murray tore up every fucking week. But
he might not make it. But if Kyler stays healthy, that Christian Kirk is going to be a steal. Now, also, if Mike Williams can stay healthy, like you just take him for
wait, wait,
touchdown value alone.
wait. Wait. We can't be talking about Mike Williams from the Chargers,
Yeah, if he can stay healthy, this dude don't stay healthy for shit.
bro.
I
Like
First
he
can't
of
I
all,
doesn't.
can't trust him. I can't trust him with Tyrod throwing the ball.
but
He's
that's
the
not my issue
only.
with him though. He only run
He's
two
the
routes.
Yeah, but that's all he needs because he gets you touchdowns. That's it. When he in the game, he scores. I don't know
He
how he
only
scores.
he
He
only
just
had he
scores.
only had like 2 touchdowns last year.
But he was hurt the whole year last year. I'm
But
talking about like the year before when he came in. It was he was taking touchdowns away from Keelan Allen, and he
Keenan
was
Allen's
hurt
not
that.
that good.
He was
Stop,
hurt that year.
stop,
Keenan Allen's not that
stop.
good.
He
Oh
just got
Lord.
paid.
See,
He just
see,
got paid.
see
Keenan
this.
Allen's a star.
See, this is why that offense is always going to struggle, because everybody on that offense has severe limitations that you can game plan for. Everybody in the world know Keenan Allen not going over 10 yards. Everybody in the world know Mike Williams only run goals and posts. That's easy to defend. So them guys, I don't have none of those guys in the top 30, let alone sleeper. I would sleep on them
Man, you
motherfuckers.
got Keenan Allen in the top 30?
Man,
Whoa,
fuck Keenan
whoa.
Allen
He's a
and that
73rd
ragged
round
ass
pick.
beard. Man,
You
that
know who
man
I
is a
did forget? I forgot in the running back section, Austin Eckler. I think he's first round worthy. That man, he gonna catch 70, 80 passes. He's gonna rush for 1,000 yards. He's another stud.
I mean, because I see the Chargers getting the ass whooped a lot, so he gonna definitely give you a lot of garbage time stats, just like he did last year.
Damn.
Cause,
Tell
cause
me how you really feel, nasty.
well, no, cause last year, if you look at his numbers last year, he had big numbers, cause they was getting their ass whipped, and they just kept dinking and dunking, trying to get garbage time stats, and Eckler ate that shit up. Don't get me wrong, he's solid, but bro, they're not gonna be a good team again. Has any of y'all even watched one episode of their Hard Knocks this year?
Hell no.
Mm.
Exactly,
I can
because
see
they
that right
fucking
now.
terrible, man. There's nothing about that team that you want to see. Nothing.
I don't. LA, both their teams suck to me. I don't. That's
I
why I didn't
hope
want to watch it.
I hope
I don't
Derwin
look.
James get
I
the
don't
fucking
want to watch
Roosevelt.
sassy. I don't want to watch sassy Jalen Ramsey talking all day. I don't want any of him taking all the camera time. And
Oh
since
man.
Philip F left the Chargers, I don't really care what's going on over there.
Two guys that I do want to throw in here for this. I don't know. I wouldn't really consider them sleepers, but they get overlooked a lot. Is Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. They're just both so consistent. If Cooper Kupp can stay healthy, he averaged like 21 points a game last year in fantasy. So
Yeah.
those are two guys that mid rounds, not really sleepers, but they're also not like wide receiver ones, but solid wide receiver two flex guys. Definitely two guys on my radar.
Oh yeah.
And so, what about these rookie running back? I mean, wide receivers. These rookie wide receivers that C.D. Lambs, the Jerry Judys, and all those wide receivers that everybody is just going nuts over and
So
overreaching for some of them.
overreaching is an understatement because I seen somebody take Jared Judy in the third round, and I was just
I
like,
seen
why?
somebody take him in the second. I seen somebody take him in the second round in one of my drafts.
But out of the group of rookie receivers, don't get me wrong, all of them actually went to solid situations. The only one I believe that's going to have a hard time, it is not because of him, is Jared Judy because of the quarterback play he went to. But I honestly believe out of the group, Justin Jefferson and C.D. Lamb will completely ball the fuck out this year. C.D. Lamb is going to the perfect situation where you don't have to be the man number one because you have Cooper and Gallup on the other side with Zeke in the backfield. So you
He
letting
gonna be in the
somebody
spot, huh?
like that, oh yeah, you let somebody like that come in there and just work one on one all game. It's gonna be a long season for whoever the fuck got to cover him. And then on top of that, Justin Jefferson in Minnesota, bro, that is just gonna be a scary sight to see Kirk Cousins keep throwing that thing up, man, and he gonna get it. That's my two rookies that gonna step up this year.
Go ahead, Brandon.
I agree on both of them actually. I I think I was very salty that when we traded up, we didn't get Justin Jefferson. That's what I wanted was Jefferson, and he goes to
Hey,
our
man,
division rival.
y'all got to
I
see him twice a
sincerely,
year.
I sincerely believe that we agreed to trade before it came through, and that's who we had our eyes on. And then it was just like receiver, receiver, receiver. Damn, I guess we'll take Love. So, but I guess another guy I'd be on the lookout for is Brandon Ayuk from San Francisco. I think in a PPR league, he's going to get a lot of catches. And in that Shanahan system, he just seems like the perfect fit for them.
Who gonna throw him the ball?
Ain't no Jimmy G when he not with them porn stars gonna throw on the ball. I
Bro, the
guess.
49ers don't even trust Jimmy G, bro. So
I'm
I
just
can't.
saying
I
Jimmy
can never
G
trust a
didn't do
nigga.
that bad at the beginning of the Super Bowl.
What
All
Jimmy
right,
And
G
but
is gonna do? What Jimmy G does is he dink and dunks, and that's what Brandon Ayuk is gonna be perfect for him. He's gonna run them little slants, them little 10-yard dig routes.
he's a
That's what
perfect
he's gonna be good
Patriots
for.
quarterback. Because that's what Tom Brady does, is dink and dunk. And the only time Brady threw the ball deep is when he had Randy Moss. And that probably took some years off his own when he throwing them damn deep balls to Randy Moss.
yeah,
So
bro.
And Gronk, he would just throw it up in triple coverage and hope
yeah,
luck came down.
Because when he threw that one touchdown he threw to Antonio Brown last year, he severely underthrew him. You could tell he ain't used to throwing the ball down the field no damn more.
yeah.
So he had to work on that all off season. I guarantee that much.
Which brings me to
So
another point. I say Chris Godwin's value will go way up, and I say that Mike Evans will go way down.
yeah, pretty much. Because Mike Evans only do go up, get ball. I don't even know what route he run. Just all to see him streaking up the field.
Michael
That's all I'm
Williams,
saying.
he has that Michael Williams route tree.
He got a few more routes
Post
than
and
Mike
goes.
Williams.
Post
He got a
and
few more.
post and
and he
goes.
might do a hitch. He might do a hitch.
He'll run a slant every now and then.
bring it long.
But that's why I'm saying I think Godwin's gonna play that Edelman role for Brady.
Yeah, but the receiver, I think, out of that rookie class, gonna struggle is Ruggs. I don't trust Derek Carr or Derek. One of them damn calls. I think it's Derek. One of them.
Yeah, it's Derek.
Yeah, it's Derek. They both play similar, so I get confused. And I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I don't trust Captain Small Hands. I don't trust him.
Man, you gotta trust Nathan Peterman.
Mariota.
Mariota on IR right now.
I might try Mariota, trust Mariota more than I do Carr right now.
Mariota on IR, man. So
all
you
I
got
know
Nathan
is
Peterman to back up.
I'll take Tannehill over Mariota.
Man, look, see, you know what?
Yeah, like
you know
Tennessee,
what? Next subject, man, because I'm not about to let him beat me into this.
I understand Mariota good at throwing touchdowns to himself.
Did we win that game? But did he win that game? That's all I care about.
Speaking of winning the game, it's about that time.
Yeah, I know. We just get.
I might have to jump ship if y'all want to finish this off.
All right, we'll finish it. Go watch
your
him.
Farewell tour, man.
Yeah, you know we'll see you in the Heat jersey.
All right, we need another godlike performance from Mitty today, so we'll see.
Don't count on.
We'll see.
All right, man. Thanks for stopping by, man.
All right, no problem.
So as we go wrap this up, we're gonna end it with the quarterbacks, and I guess next show we'll pick up with tight ends and defense. So quarterbacks, there is a lot of people overreach for quarterbacks and pick them first. So who's your quarterbacks to go to within the, I guess you could say second, third rounds, or even first round?
First of all, I'm not picking no quarterback that early. I don't give a damn who they are. But at the end of the day,
Mahomes, not even Lamar Jackson.
I will never take a quarterback in the first 4 or 5 rounds, period. That's just not how I operate. Because at the end of the day, especially with the new rules today, you can find an average quarterback and still win series. The playmakers is really what separate winners from champions. You know what I'm saying? So, but I seen a guy take Patrick Mahomes in the first round. I'm not even gonna say the first round. I don't even want to disrespect it. It was top 3. Dude took Patrick Mahomes top 3 in our draft, which was how Derrick Henry fell to me, and Lamar Jackson went in the second round. All right, don't get me wrong; these guys are electric playmakers, but I'm not passing up all this playmaking talent. I need these skill positions because the quarterbacks are deep. So
I will take a Lamar Jackson if he fell to me in the second round. If I'm in the late in the second round, Snake, I will take it.
Still not touching him.
I'm just saying because it's like a running back. Because Lamar Jackson is a running back, so he's like a fucking running back. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong; his value is there. I ain't personally just not touching the quarterback that early. That's just me. I refuse to touch the quarterback that early. But if you want to go outside of the obvious two, then you got to go Russell Wilson. As much as I don't like his supporting cast, Deshaun Watson has proven it don't matter. He can carry them guys. Deshaun Watson is definitely in the top 5. And last but not least, Dak Prescott. At the end of the day, Dak put up numbers last year, and you're only as good as your weapons. And his weapons are fucking amazing, bro. He got some toys to play with this year. I look for Dak to be a top 3 fantasy quarterback. Might even be top 2 when it's all said and done at the end of this year.
And thanks to Dak Prescott, I picked him up in the 7th round, and I think it was that group football, other group with Kevin running it. I picked him up in the 7th round, and they told me I'm planning on going undefeated in that draft, in that round, and that whole thing because my team is so stacked. They say I'm going undefeated. That's what they project me to go undefeated because I picked up Dak like in the end of like they said that was the biggest steal of the draft was I picked up Dak that late. It's like
because I got him in the 7th round of our draft.
I'm like I was mad at you because I was going for it. That was my name. I had him in the queue.
I always had that in my plans, bro. I was like,
I
man,
had him in the queue. But
I want 3 starting running backs, 3 starting receivers, and then I'm going to get that.
I'm
And
just saying,
it played out perfect.
I should have got him in the 6th round, but I said, okay, nobody looking at Dak. Let me see if I could just hide him and get him. But you got him. But Dak going to give you fantasy numbers. He's a perfect fantasy quarterback. He's not a good winning quarterback, but he's a fantasy quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Prescott is a top 3 fantasy quarterback. Like, I'm with you with that. And he don't get the respect he deserves fantasy-wise because people look at the Cowboys situation and then they just, I ain't worrying about Dak Prescott. But Dak Prescott, they're going to be behind in a couple of these games. And Dak
Prescott have no defense, man.
He's going to throw. When people load up and run the stop seat, he's just going to throw. And he's trying to get $40 million a year, so he's just going to throw.
Yeah, bro. I'm riding with Dak this year, man. He was my backup last year. He my starter this year.
I'm put this way. I know this will make Lee happy because Cowboy. We know Lee. He's a Cowboy fan. That'll make him happy to see him. We high up on the Cowboys quarterback, but he is a playmaker, but it's just that it's garbage time points. So you gotta take somebody good at garbage time points. Like we gotta go to our sleepers. We know who the top quarterbacks are. We really don't have to go through that shit with the sleepers. Like Kirk Cousins, he's a sleeper for me because he gonna have garbage time points. The Vikings gonna be down, and Kirk Cousins might start off like 100 yards throughout the first 3 quarters, and in the 4th quarter he ended up with 400 yards passing. So you gotta get your people who get some garbage time points.
Hey, bro, I don't appreciate you shitting on my backup quarterback like that.
Oh, I'm shitting on him always.
You know that's my backup quarterback. But hey, bro, as far as sleepers go,
chili and some beans mixed up, shitting on. That's how I'm shitting on.
Hey, bro, that's my quarterback, man. Let my quarterback make it. But fuck, if you want to go sleepers, man, it's 2 that instantly pop in my head, bro. And number 1, once again, this is the year of the rookie, Joe Burrow. Ooh. And I got Joe Burrow as a big sleeper because people been getting him 10, 11, 12 round, and AJ Green is back and he's healthy. So he got one of the best receivers in the game to throw to. And if you ain't watched LSU last year, Joe Burrow was throwing that thing. So I like that combination.
Yeah, no choice.
I'm about to tell you, I like the fuck out of it. And then on top of that, he might be a top 15 guy in most picks, but my biggest sleeper has been Kyler Murray. But once again, you're only as good as your toys. You just got him the best hands in the game to go with Christian Kirk and Larry, always open Larry, 7-11 Larry. Man, bro, the sky's the limit, man. I like Kyler. I couldn't take him where he was drafted, so I had to let him go this year. But bro, I think Kyler gonna be a top 5 fantasy quarterback this year as well.
Oh, thank you, because I picked him up in our draft.
Never mind. I hope his toenail fall off. Never mind. I'll take that back.
Yeah. I'll kind of have Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott as my quarterbacks, but yeah, I picked him up. Yeah, I did it, and I had to choose
toenail fall off.
Deshaun Watson and Kyler Murray because I'm like, everybody know I'm a Deshaun Watson guy, but Kyler Murray was too interested to pass up because of the weapons. Like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I have to get Kyler Murray because he might, with this wide open offense, he might break the mold, even being a short quarterback. But, like I said, the Joe Burrow thing, yeah, I think I picked him up in another league because I think they have no choice to throw the ball because the Bengals going to suck. And how you feel about Baker? How you feel like good old Baker? Baker low.
Hey, bro.
Baker.
I gave Baker a couple chances, and he consistently let me down. So I don't think this year's gonna be any different.
So you don't trust Baker Mayfield?
So, bro, I don't trust no Bakers. He ain't even coming no damn cakes or donuts. So I'm not riding with that Baker. Fuck him.
All right. How about walk it to him as Shannon Sharp called him, Carson Wentz. Good old walk it to him.
So, bro, well, first of all, Carson Wentz's health is always an issue. But then on top of that, I don't like his weapons. So fuck Carson Wentz.
Now I'm talking
Josh
about my
Allen is
quarterback.
better than Josh Allen. Is a better option than Carson Wentz.
No, don't be talking about my quarterback in the league, my backup quarterback in the league. We'll walk
Oh,
into
hey, Kyler, no offense, bro, but I hope you stub your toe and make him play Carson Wentz for like 6 weeks straight. I hate him. Hate.
but Josh Allen, I drafted him in another thing, and yeah, I think Josh Allen gonna shock the world, be a top 10 quarterback. I think he's starting to he got weapons. He got Stephon Diggs, and he got a strong arm that so he can cut it, he can throw it through the winds of Buffalo. So he got what it is, Stephon Diggs and John Brown. And like Devin Singletary can catch it out the backfield. So he has weapons. So Josh Allen you might be getting him in the 15th round because people saying, oh, Buffalo quarterback. And Josh Allen might end up being a top 10 quarterback over the likes of Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers.
Not your quarterback.
Oh, no. If that's my quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, your quarterback.
Next subject, please.
Okay. I'm just saying because Drew last year, his numbers are going down. Like they're doing this. And fantasy-wise. Because he's not throwing for 400 yards anymore. He's not throwing for even 300 sometimes. He might give you 200 yards and he might give you 2 touchdowns. But it's because he's getting short fields because that defense is getting better. So he's getting short fields. They're getting a little better. I don't want to hit. They got a little better.
But that's not why he's not throwing for yards, though.
I'm not saying that because of the arm, but I'm saying he's not gonna get it even if he had the arm strength. They'd be getting a lot of short fields, the Saints. So Drew Brees is a person that I would kind of stay away from because I think they're gonna run the ball more this year because they're trying to preserve him for the playoffs. So he might even get the load management treatment for that arm because that arm is dead. It's hanging on by a string. So
y'all better send him somewhere and get a whole new arm put on. They doing that now.
One of them on that Winter Soldier arm from all the Marvel comics.
I'm about to tell you.
Because there's people picking Drew Brees. I've seen it in the top 3 rounds. They're picking Drew Brees that high.
Saints fans.
Yeah. And I'm like, you got to take your fandom out of fantasy football. I tell this to anybody. Fantasy football, I don't go for that many Saints. If I get a Saints player that is putting up points like Kamara or Thomas, yeah, I'm not passing them up. Just like you wouldn't just pick all Titans. You might.
It burns on the 2 Titans that I go after every year. And
Brown and
no, I don't go after Brown. I go after my defense and Derrick Henry. That's it.
And it's like there's a lot of people. I think y'all listen to who watching. It's a lot of people who like to put their fandom and like, oh, I gotta get all my best players. You gotta realize you get a team full of Saints. They all got the same bye week.
Mm-hmm.
That's your ass once that bye week comes. And then you got a bunch of bums on your bench. So this check on your waiver wires. And that's a waiver wire champion wins championships. Because your draft, but how many drafts they told us we gonna suck and we didn't won championships because waiver wire people giving up on people too soon. Exactly. I wanted people to be in there 3 a.m. on the waiver wire when y'all sleep. And I'm on the waiver wire.
Hey, bro, you got to do your homework, man. It's part of the game.
Always. So, man, like I said, we're gonna do the fantasy football show every Tuesday. So, next week we'll all right. We'll start with the tight ends and the defense and waiver wire pickups next week. So any shout outs before you gotta get out of here?
Hey man, well first I want to send a shout out. I don't even know why I'm saying this, but to your sister, congratulations on the wedding. I wish I could have been there and cut up with y'all, but things happen. But and then on top of that, man, shout out the biggest shout out of the year. Shout out to Jadavian Clowney. I always knew you wanted to come home to Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Nashville. Saints fans still crying, and you made my day, bro. That's all I got.
First of all, the NFL hated on him. He wanted to come to Big Easy first. NFL hated on him. They hated. because we're gonna do a signing trade with Cleveland. We're gonna do a signing trade with Cleveland and put him on the books. But yeah, I'm glad y'all got that. Yeah, shout out to your face going down. And shout out to the Heat about the gentleman sweep the Bucks tonight for Brandon. Bang bang. So we'll be back Friday to talk more sports besides fantasy football. It's your boy Mo Young. And Too Nasty about to go out there and pull a hamstring out there playing softball.
Oh no, I don't run no more, man. Bomb squad.
So, we'll see y'all on Friday for more sports. For more sports outlook for us. Peace.